Hey there. Welcome to Grave Echoes, where the silence of the night whispers stories you'll wish you never heard. Tonight's tale is called The Indentation. My name is Ethan. I'm a 32-year-old copywriter living alone in a two-bedroom apartment in Portland. It's not haunted or anything, at least not in the traditional sense. No one ever died here. I checked, but something started happening about 2 months ago. Small things. Sounds I couldn't place. Lights I knew I had turned off blinking back on. My keys ending up in different spots than where I'd left them. At first, I blamed myself. Stress, work, lack of sleep. But then came the bed. You see, the second bedroom was supposed to be my office. I'd set up a desk and kept a foldable bed in there for guests who rarely came. It wasn't used much. But one night, after a long editing shift, I passed the room and noticed the bed. There was an indentation. A deep one, like someone had just gotten up. The sheets were rumpled. The mattress bent. And here's the thing. I hadn't had any guests. Not in over 3 months. Not a single soul had touched that bed since I last folded it. I stood in the doorway staring at it, my heart hammering slowly but with growing intensity. I didn't move. Didn't even breathe. Eventually, I convinced myself it had to be me. Maybe I forgot lying down there to read. Maybe I sat there during a phone call. It had to be something like that, right? The next night, I smoothed the bed out. Perfectly. Took pictures, even. I needed to prove to myself that it was in my head. Then I closed the door, locked it, slept in my room across the hall. In the middle of the night, I heard the door creak. I sat up, cold sweat clinging to my back. I listened. Nothing. The door stayed shut, the lock untouched. But when I checked the next morning, the indentation was back. Deeper, like someone had been there longer this time. My first instinct was to call the landlord, Rick. I told him someone might have been inside. Maybe a duplicate key. Maybe maintenance had entered by mistake. He denied it. Swore up and down he was the only one with spares. Changed the locks himself the next day, just to be sure. But the next night, the bed was still disturbed. It happened again and again. Every night, the imprint grew clearer. I began measuring it. The dip was the exact weight of a person, maybe 140 to 160 pounds. That's when I stopped sleeping altogether. My therapist, Claire, told me it could be a manifestation of stress or sleepwalking. I tried to believe her, but that didn't explain why the sheets shifted when I was awake. Or why, one night, I caught the bedroom light flickering from under the door. That door was locked, and I was alone. The indentation wasn't even the worst part anymore. What scared me most was the smell. It was faint, like something stale. Old perfume, maybe. Sweet and cloying, mixed with dust. It lingered around the bed. Just the bed. Nowhere else. I stopped opening the door. Just ignored it. Blocked it from my mind. Until I had that dream. Or maybe it wasn't a dream. I was lying in bed, half asleep, when I felt the pressure. On my mattress. It was the same weight. Same location. Right next to me. I turned my head. No one was there. But the bed, my bed this time, sank just slightly next to my waist. I didn't move. I couldn't. I just stared at the ceiling, breath shallow, hard in my throat. The pressure didn't go away. It stayed there for what felt like hours. And then, without warning, it lifted. Like someone got up, walked away. I heard my office door creak, open down the hall. When I checked the next morning, the bed in the guest room had 2 indentations. One larger, one smaller, as if someone or something had brought a friend. I left the apartment that day. Took only my laptop and car keys. Rented a room across town. But the dreams followed me, and so did the indentations. Last night at the motel, I woke up to find the mattress next to me dipped, low, familiar, impossibly real. And on the mirror, written in the condensation from the broken heater, "You saw me." I didn't scream. I wanted to, but I couldn't. I just stared at those 3 words, "You saw me." The handwriting wasn't mine. It was elegant, almost old-fashioned. Looped letters with soft curves, like something you'd find in an old love letter. Except this wasn't love. It was something else. I wiped the mirror clean, packed my things, and left the motel before the sun came up. I drove with no destination, just a desire to be away. But after hours on the road, I realized something. I wasn't escaping. I was carrying it with me. The indentation didn't belong to a place. It belonged to me. It followed me to a friend's house. Marcus. He offered to let me crash in his guest room. I didn't tell him everything. Just enough to explain the bags under my eyes and the way I jumped at every creak in the floorboards. The first night was fine. The second, too. But on the third, it returned. This time, Marcus saw it. We were having breakfast when he asked, "Did you sleep on both sides of the bed?" I froze. "What do you mean?" He looked confused. "Well, there's a dip on the other side. Looked like two people slept there." I didn't respond. I didn't need to. He saw it. Someone else finally saw it. That night, I slept on the couch. I told Marcus I'd handle it. That it was probably just bad springs or something simple. He didn't push. But the couch wasn't any better. At 3:14 a.m., I woke up. Not from a noise. Not from a dream. From pressure. Right beside me. The cushions compressed, slowly, deliberately, as though someone had knelt next to me. I sat up with a jolt, heart racing. Nothing. But I felt it. Like static in the air. Like the moment before lightning strikes. It was a whisper. So faint I almost thought I imagined it. Ethan. It said my name. I left before sunrise. I haven't stayed in one place more than 2 nights since then. Hotels. Rentals. Friends' couches. Even my car once. It doesn't matter. It always finds me. Always presses down beside me. I tried setting up cameras. Motion sensors. Voice recorders. Everything either malfunctioned or captured. Nothing. No movement. No sound. But every morning, the indentation is there. Sometimes deeper. Sometimes closer. One night, I didn't sleep at all. Just stared at the empty spot beside me. Around 3 a.m., the blanket shifted. Just slightly. As if a weight settled over it. I didn't see anyone. But the blanket moved. And I felt it, cold air displaced. The scent returned. That faint, decaying sweetness. And then, I felt breath. Right on my ear. Then a whisper, softer than before. "Don't leave me again." Again. That word haunted me more than anything else. Again. As if this thing, this presence, believed we had been together before. I started digging. Not just into my own life, but into the apartment, the area, even my family. I found something in an old storage box at my mom's house. A journal from someone named Lila. I didn't know her, but my mom did. She was a friend from college. Said Lila had issues. Talked to herself. Saw things that weren't there. She vanished one night, leaving only a diary and a photograph. The photograph showed her smiling, standing in front of the building I lived in front of my apartment door. The journal was filled with entries about a man she loved. A man who didn't remember her. A man who left her in dreams. She described waiting for him in bed, night after night. She wrote, "The bed remembers, even if he doesn't." Another page said, "He always comes back to me. When he sleeps, he sees me. When he dreams, he forgets. But I remember. The handwriting, it was the same as on the mirror." I don't know if I knew her in a past life. I don't believe in that stuff. But she believes. And somehow, some way, she's attached herself to me, to the space beside me. And no matter how far I run, she finds it. Finds me. I tried sleeping on the floor, in chairs, in the bathtub, but it doesn't stop her. She doesn't need comfort, just presence. She doesn't even speak anymore. She just breathes, watches, waits. Sometimes I'll wake up and see fresh indentations in the pillow beside mine. Like a head rested there. Like she was lying next to me, watching my dreams. Last night, I asked aloud, "What do you want from me?" There was no reply. But when I turned to look, the bed beside me shifted. I heard one word. Forever. So now I don't sleep. I don't lie down. I don't even sit on cushions or anything soft. Because wherever I rest, she rests too. And one day, I think she won't wait beside me. She'll pull me under, and I'll wake up in the indentation, next to her,